All right, before we start, I need to tell you I am in no way an advocate of meat glue, also known as transglutaminase. But I think we all need to have a kind of a conversation, and we need to know what we're eating and, more importantly, what our kids are eating. And that's where meat glue comes in. Basically, it is a naturally occurring enzyme. It's found in blood, and it's usually derived from either pork blood or beef blood. And I think they're also making it out of fermented bacteria. Sounds yummy. And it's basically a clotting agent, and they're using it in formed meats. So if you're eating that sandwich, it looks like a rib, it's got it in it. Your kids are eating chicken nuggets, it's got it in it. And I also suspect that a very large roast beef sandwich chain in the United States here is using it, because if you hold up a thin slice of meat out of one of those sandwiches, you know some very unnatural grains, and also I've even seen air bubbles, so it's in it. Now the reason I'm making this video is because there's a lot of deception out there regarding this stuff. If you go into a grocery store, you'll see packages of meat, chickens that look like dinosaurs, and it says formed meat. I think anybody will assume that there's something in there holding the meat together. Meat glue, I basically put it in a little shaker. It's white powder. You can also mix it with water to make a slurry, which I've done here. I'm going to use both techniques. First thing I'm going to do is lay down that fat cap. And I'm going to brush some of this meat glue slurry on the fat cap. Here's that meat. This is the brisket meat mixed in with that stew meat. I just, again, diced everything up. And what I'm going to do is just sprinkle some of this in. You want to make sure you don't breathe any of this stuff in. All right, we need that nice little flavor nugget of fat on a ribeye. So let's have some fat here that I've reserved. Right now we're just going to fill everything in here. All right, it's looking good. It's not really looking good, it's looking weird. So what I'm going to do is pull up this cling wrap. All right, and here we are, vacuum sealed. What I'm going to do now is place this in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow I'll slice this and hopefully it'll look like some ribeyes, but in any case, despicable stuff. I'll see you in a bit. All right, we are back. Now let's see what we've created. All right, well, as you can see, we've got, kind of a bumpy texture here. We'll be trimming that off after we steak it. The thing that's kind of wild is there are some areas here that look totally fused, like the meat almost melted into each other, which is crazy. And there's some of those air bubbles that I've seen before in some of the sandwiches that are sold. So what I'm going to do now is just steak this out, and then again we're going to start doing some trimming and hopefully get these things to look like steaks. Now that looks like the cross section of a ribeye. All right, and here is a finished trim steak. This is actually going to be the one that I cook up and eat. I think it looks pretty convincing. I mean, it has that nice little nugget of fat there that is a ribeye. So we're going to cook this up, and one of the concerns about cooking up a fake steak like this is there's a lot of meat that used to be on the outside that is now on the inside, which means there's bacteria inside of this piece of meat. So I like my meat medium rare. If I was to cook this medium rare, chances are I'm going to be eating a lot of bacteria that may make me sick. So what I'm going to do is cook this sous vide. Okay, so the steak has been sous vide, 130 degrees, 90 minutes, and we are ready to sear it off. On the little Weber here, season it with some kosher salt, some ground pepper. Let's get it on the grill. All right, it's been about a minute. Let's give it a nice flip here. And there you go. Wow. Looks like steak. All right, another minute has passed and we are ready to try Frankensteak. All right, so right off the bat, it smells like steak. Looks good. Again, if it was just a regular normal steak, I would have cooked it a little bit rarer than this, but you know, I was kind of taking it safe here. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't know any better, I'm thinking it's steak. It's really, actually very good. Getting that really, you know, beefy brisket flavor. It's nice. Now, again, my main motivation for making this video is to simply shed some light on some deception that's going on out there. I know there are legitimate uses for this product. I mean, it's used in, you know, caseless hot dogs, caseless sausages, those funky shaped chicken things, and, you know, welding bacon onto a nice fillet. But where I really have a problem is when a restaurant or, you know, a dining hall is trying to pass off a bunch of scraps welded together as real steak. So, if it seems like you're getting too good of a deal, just ask. Ask, is this processed or formed meat? Hopefully they'll tell you the truth. But anyway, guys, know what you're eating. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.
The ABC 7 News I-Team is exploring another food industry practice that is not widely known by consumers. It's called meat glue, used to bind scraps together, making them appear as a prime cut of beef.
Dan Noyes reports tonight on the health concerns about meat glue.
Any shape, end product or semi-finished product required can be produced using Fibermex.
A product made by a Nebraska company is one of several commonly referred to as meat glue. Fibermex uses proteins isolated from cow or pig blood. It's a coagulant, the same thing found in your body that makes a cut heal. In this case, it's used to heal pieces of meat that will be discarded back together.
The use of Fibermex means a significant reduction in unsaleable parts.
Those unsaleable parts are often the tougher meat left over after processors cut the best part out of a beef tenderloin. The scraps could be made into hamburger, stew meat, or be thrown out.
This is just cubed beef.
Chef Stéphane Terrier doesn't use meat glue in his restaurant, but he agreed to show us how it works with another product called Activa. The coated pieces go into a circular tin for that filet mignon shape, set overnight, and there it is.
Frankensteak. Nice juicy Frankensteak.
Here's the problem. The outside of a piece of meat comes in contact with a lot of bacteria, making its way from slaughterhouse to table. Cooking a normal steak will usually kill all that off. The center is sterile, and that's why you can eat it rare. But glue pieces of meat together and bacteria, such as E. coli, could be on the inside.
Say somebody wants that filet steak rare, the center temperature is not going to reach the temperature that will actually kill the bacteria.
Our investigation revealed the most glued product by far is filet mignon, most commonly served at restaurants, banquets, cafeterias, or hotels. The federal government and an industry spokeswoman say glued meat is safe if cooked properly and that it has to be labeled as reformed. But you wouldn't see the label if you're eating out.